Truck round of 16 finale. I am your normal truck host, Jinx. With me is Visceral, and taking a break this week. Got some things going on is B New, so you will have me and Visceral in the booth tonight for the round of 16 finale at Homestead. What's going on, Visceral?
Oh, you know what? Just excited to see how this truck race goes. I know that the truck races are usually some more of the cleaner races that we have with the HDRS League. So yeah, I just want to see how these guys handle this tough track that is Homestead.
Yeah, I mean, Homestead's a pretty tough track. We all ran it last night, and it can get a little crowded at certain points. One of the biggest keys that I've noticed with this track is the ability to be able to exit these turns on turns 2 and turn 4, and actually keeping the truck straight. A lot of loose conditions on the long runs on those exits can cause some issues, especially exiting the turns 2 and 3 wide. Um, and you could find yourself in trouble if you're down low and the guy next to the wall is a little loose, because he could just come down and he could ruin your night or at least your stage. So it's going to be a key to look out for that. These guys are definitely going to have their mirrors on and their blinders, looking around just to make sure they're staying out of trouble the best they can.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks that is notorious on fuel and tires, but I would say even more so than the other tracks in this game because the fuel just doesn't run how it says that it will. So, like, for example, you take, 21 laps of fuel, you're actually looking at 19 or 20. And the tire wear on that right front is just going to be a big problem all night.
Yeah. So, and with these trucks too, I'm not 100% sure um, of the fuel mileage. In these truck series races, we do run the 100% times two, so there's a little bit less wear than there is in the Cup Series, but it's a longer race. So if we can get some green flag runs in, we'll get an idea of what these fuel mileage is going to look like. Try to see who's going to save the fuel and who's going to just try to ride out and go full metal, full all the way in.
Yeah, do you actually know the entire distance they're running tonight, lap-wise?
I'm looking at it now. I'm watching this Lando stream. Lando's nice enough to stream for us, so we can get a lap count and positions. But I'm getting here from Travis on the stream that it's about 24 on a fuel run, give or take.
Okay,
So
so
they're
a
getting
little
some
bit better
decent
than the
mileage out of
Cup
it.
Series.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty good. I mean that's a pretty good shot. So I mean, try to think. These stages are probably going to be one pit stop in each of the first two stages before you get to that really long one, the really long stage 3, and that's when the aggression tends to pick up as well. So if there's going to be
Yeah,
fuel runs, or if there's going to be just track position, last night I noticed that track position actually benefited you a little bit better than tires. So we're going to see how
yeah.
these trucks handle.
I mean, everybody, it was the last race in the round of 16 for the Cup last night, so everybody was trying to race their way in or, maintain a position. So I understand the little bit of more aggressive nature that we had on the track last night, but I'm wondering if a lot of that had to do with the actual condition of the track itself as well.
It seemed loose on the early runs. I know I tended to be a little loose on the early run, and then get a little tight, and then you'd get loose again. So it's really just chasing the track, and it's very important for these guys to use this first stage to see what their truck's doing, make the adjustments that they need to make, and know what they need to do to keep their trucks available. Travis is saying he thinks that stage 1 is 30 laps, so there's going to be a one
Okay.
pit stop in stage 1.
Yeah, noticed last night for sure, track position, like you said, seemed to be really, really important. Found it difficult myself to get around people towards the back. I wanted to lay back at the rear of the field last night, just trying to get an idea of how everyone was going to run it, but it just made it so difficult for me to get through traffic that Twoon's saying invites to Jinx and Be New. Let me make sure that I get one.
But yeah, I think more along. I mean, these guys who are sitting outside the top 16 or outside the top 12, you're definitely going to see a little bit more aggression out of them. I know I was sitting outside the top 12 last night going into Homestead, and I tended to drive it a little bit more aggressive than I normally would. I know I got into some people that I didn't intend to, but when you're trying to fight for that last spot, and I needed good stage points, so I think we're gonna see that towards the end of this race.
Yeah.
But one of the key things I'm looking to is to see how many people are going to be, how many non-playoff drivers are going to be up there. I mean, we had Beast win last week, and Beast was a non-playoff driver, so that kind of threw a little kink into these playoff guys trying to make the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's one less position. That's one less win to take away.
I believe we actually have the same two guys starting on the front row that we had last week as well.
So what line do you think these trucks are actually going to use right now? Do you think they're going to run the low, the middle, the high? I feel like the trucks can run that middle to high line a lot better than the cup cars can.
I think we're not going to see these trucks even mess with the low line at the start of this race. With the experience that we've had with these trucks all year, they're generally very, very tight on these sliders. And I think if you're one of those guys that is lucky enough to have your truck hold that bottom line, you're going to be looking real good stage one. But I see a lot of mid and high line running here, so maybe we'll have a more single file race, here in the trucks and like what we had, last night in the Cup Series.
Yeah, that's another thing too. With Miami's a pretty big track when it comes to drafting, and the draft effect on these trucks isn't where you'd like to see it. I mean, just because you're lined up behind somebody and you see that draft meter kick in doesn't mean you're actually getting that full draft.
Absolutely. We should probably go through this.
And we can go ahead and jump in now, actually. They started the timer up.
Have Beast Stats and Death. Row 2, Wide Open Racing and Sniper. Row 3 is going to be King Pile and Scoop. Row 4 is going to be Bad Biker and Bob Drew. And row 6 is going to, row 5 is going to be Travis and Killer Sean. Row 6, Collins Racing and Lando. Row 7, Dodge Ram and Titanic. Row 8 is going to be Woody and Twoon. And from there on back, it is non-qualifiers. So not entirely sure what we're going to have there.
Yeah, I think those guys get the mass invite. And that's kind of fair, like you're not gonna put somebody in first car and who didn't qualify every week, so you just give everybody the invite at the same time and go where you want to qualify. So as we come to the green flag here, we got Beast running on the inside with Death on the outside, and let's see here, see if I can get to Beast, kind of get a back view and see how these guys are spreading out on this. And they're actually staying on the bottom. I'm not seeing a lot of guys go to the middle. I mean, I think until you're up to speed, that bottom's going to be okay. But as they come around the backstretch and go into turn 3, they're pretty much single file, top 8.
Still holding that low line for a few of these guys out here. Seeing a little bit of jostling back there in the back. Oh, actually, we got a truck in a wall back there. Let me see if I can find out who that is for you.
We got a nice little, I mean, it's a good 4, 5, 6 car breakaway. Right,
Collins Racing who got into the wall early.
Ooh, his wide open is going to take it a little wide coming into, I believe that is 4. So, that was 2. He took it a little wide. He's going to keep the run on the outside, though, as he's going to get by Death for second place and go after Beast. Now, I believe Wide Open
was our winner last night, so, he's probably going to apply a lot of the same strategy he did in last night's race here.
Oh, and I can see trucks are already getting loose on the exit of those turns. Saw a couple guys back there around 8th, 9th just go down onto the apron on the front stretch. That's those exits. I mean, those things are scary, and to be able to hold that line is very difficult, especially when there's somebody right next to you.
Now, it's early in the race, but it looks like we might have kind of the same situation we had at Chicago in these trucks, where it looks like those first 4 guys might put a little bit of gap on the rest of the field, and we might run it actually in 2 or 3 different little groups of trucks here at the start.
Yeah, like I said, these guys are just getting their fields up. We see Wide Open here trying to make a move on the outside of Beast, and Wide is going to hold it in there and drive it in deep, try to carry as much speed as he can, but Beast is going to try to hold him off on the inside.
Beast got a really good center drive off there.
He did, but that high line is where you want to be on the exits. Oh, yeah. He's going to go ahead and make the pass for first. See if Beast
Yep.
can get a run on him on the inside to try to make that move.
God, I don't think he's got enough. It looks like Wide Open should clear him out of this turn.
Nope,
going
Beast
down
is
the
right there on his
backstretch.
quarter
We'll
panel,
see,
but he got a
though.
little bit loose. And we
So
got
yeah,
the
new leader there, Wide Open.
and we got the normal Travis fans up in here. Elizabeth, Mike Fraser. Let me see if we can find Travis for you guys. We got Scoop. Biker
Got
running there.
Travis running right behind Scoop, which I believe is for 6th position right now.
So we got Travis right here. Looks like everyone looks like these top 6 are just going to run in a straight line. Nobody's really battling side by side right now. Everyone's just kind of in a line. Looks like Bob's going to make the move on the inside of Death.
Ooh. B-Stats is a little squirrely right there, too. If Bob Drew can make this stick, he might
Oh,
be
we
able
got
to get
Scoop in the wall going into 1, but he's not going to lose any positions. He's going to try to maintain that speed. And Scoop is able to maintain. Ooh, we got Beast and Death. Both got a little loose coming out of 2. And that's going to be a big factor coming into this race. You know, 6 laps in, and you're already seeing some trucks get a little loose.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to hold that.
You got anybody really trying to push you out of that turn? And these cars here at Homestead, unless you ran your line just perfect, they really, really want to turn straight to that inside wall.
Yeah, and it's every turn, and it's not something I've never understood certain tracks how they do that. You know how, you know, with Texas, you know, coming out of 4, if you don't hit it just right, you're screaming loose.
Yeah, you're screaming
Scoops in the
loose, or
wall
you're way
again.
too
As
tight in the wall.
Travis and Bob are gonna make their way by him. Put Scoop back down to 6th. Oh wait,
Travis
that is
up
not
to
Scoop.
5th there.
That is Killer Sean. I apologize.
Oh, that 32 and 33 do look pretty similar.
Yeah.
Travis did make a pass there on Scoop, regardless, though, for the 5th position.
Yeah, we see Wide Open putting a little gap on the rest of these guys, and the more they battle, the more Wide Open's going to be able to just walk away, and that's not something you want to let him do. You do not want to let him get out. Woo! As we got Twoon coming out there.
Twoon, yeah.
It's really loose coming out of 2. But Twoon's worked his way up from the back. Started near to the back, was one of the non-qualifiers.
Yeah. Here we got Bob Drew, maybe looking to pass Beat Stats on the high side behind Death's draft here.
I might get up there to Bob. There he is. Yep. Looks like that high side is where these trucks are more comfortable.
Yeah. Oh, we got Bob Drew and Beat Stats, a little contact there on the sides.
Yeah, that looked like maybe a little bit of overcorrection on Beast, trying to prevent himself from going down to the apron.
Now we got Twoon and Killer Sean attempting to make a pass on Travis here.
Yeah.
Killer Sean working that high side, Twoon working that inside there.
Yeah, these guys are, there's not a lot of give. I mean, ooh, Beast goes right into Bob Drew's bumper there. But there's a lot of side-by-side action now later in the round versus what I thought would be at the restart.
Yeah, Travis got in the wall a little bit there. Twoon's going to take over 5th position for the meantime.
Yeah, I know Twoon really wants a win. He's been trying all season. Had a really good run last night in the Cup Series before he lagged out. So I know he's got his fingers crossed that his internet is strong tonight.
Looks like we have a little less, strain on the server than what we had last night in the Cup Series. So I think we should see most of these drivers good to go till the end.
Yeah, a lot of it too was whoever the host was able to keep the track rotation going while we were waiting for everybody to get in, which is important.
Absolutely.
On these private
servers.
lobbies. But right now we're looking right here. We got Wide Open running out front with Death right behind him in 2nd, followed by Bob Drew, and I believe Mr. Twoon is going to make the move on Beast. So put Twoon up to 4th, and Travis is right up on Beast's bumper now. So Travis is going to go ahead and try to make that move as well, with Scoop and Killer Sean in tow. I'm not seeing a lot of crazy looseness coming off these exits. Maybe these guys were a little conservative with their sliders and made them a little tighter just to avoid that.
It seems like they've settled down because those first 3 or 4 laps they were getting a little loose, but it seems like now that these tires are probably down around the 75-80% range that they're possibly gripping a little bit better on exit.
Yeah, so right now
the speed is just so much slower that they don't carry as much out.
Yeah, so right now we're looking at 18 to go in stage 1. Looks like the top 4 is still going to be Wide Open, Bob Drew, Death, and Twoon. Beast, Travis, looks to be Scoop, Killer Sean. I can't quite tell who that is. I believe it's Lando.
That's Lando behind Scoop, and then he just made a pass on Killer Sean, actually. Ooh, we got Death down pit road. He's going to be the first one taking a pit stop here.
All right, so with 13 laps into stage 1 and somebody's already making a pit stop, is that a good thing or bad thing?
I would have to say that's a bad thing, considering we were told pre-race that these trucks have a 24, lap, run capability, unless, the fuel is burning down a little faster now that, they're in draft and racing hard.
Yeah. Or maybe just trying to, short pit a little early, cut the stage in 2.
Maybe these trucks can't go as far as we thought, as we see another cluster of 3 coming down pit road now. I believe that was our leader, Wide Open,
Killer Sean,
and Killer Sean down pit road now.
We got Titanic here running behind the lead group. Looks like Bob Drew has stayed out. I'm trying to get up there to see who else is out there. We got Woody running here.
Bob Drew in second. That looks like it's going to be Travis. Third, Mr. Twoon. In fourth place, I believe now is... Okay, so that's going to be Twoon and Lando now staying out for a battle for the lead.
I'm just watching Twoon and Lando battle right now. Twoon tends to enter that truck in a little low and try to keep it down there. And we got a little lag spike on Lando. I'm going to try our best tonight to try to warn these guys about that. As I believe as everyone's pretty much already pitted, I'm pretty sure these guys are probably going to be coming into pit here in the next lap or 2. Unless they're just going to try to run it out, maybe take right sides and some gas, and Twoon's going to make the pass for the lead. He's going to get by Lando.
It looks like Death, being the first one to pit, is actually a little bit ahead of Wide Open right now. They're battling for what I believe will be position.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably a lap down, but that's nothing crazy, as we got Punk Panda here in that beautiful number 17 Haley Deegan Ford. Punk, our Saturday night or Friday night Cup broadcaster, does a great job every Fridays. And he would be remiss if I didn't say this is the spectacle that is Hammerdown Racing. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Friday nights are Cup races, Saturday nights are our truck races, and starting season 3, we will be having Thursday night Xfinity series. So that should be interesting as well, to introduce a third series. Different broadcasters for each series, so you're going to get a different view of everybody.
What I'm seeing on track is that actually Twoon, Lando, and Titanic have still decided to stay out. And I believe they're probably 4 or 5 laps past when we first saw Death hit the pits.
So we are looking at 12 to go in stage 1, with the top 3 still have not pit. Sniper is on pit road right now. I know Beast has already pit. Here is
I think really the only 3 that haven't pit are going to be
the top 3.
Twoon, Lando, and then Titanic up there in 1, 2, 3 right now.
As we got a nice little battle right now with Wide Open and Death. It looks like they're either drafting each other, or looks like Wide Open just made Death go in there a little bit faster than he wanted to. As Death's gonna barely scrape the wall, be good. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking. Lando and Twoon are probably gonna have to pit here in the next lap or 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say they're probably getting about maybe 20 laps of fuel. So maybe that early pit, thinking we were getting 24 instead of 20, then that early pit by Death actually worked out pretty well for him, as Wide Open has made the pass on him. So this is the battle for position once everything cycles around.
Yeah, that would put Wide Open in the lead, Death in second, B-Stats third, and then Scoop in fourth once everything does settle down here.
Yep, and we've got Twin, Titanic, and Lando in pit.
And Panda a little bit further back on the pit road as well.
So Panda looking to make a move right there, try to just run it out and stretch this out as long as he can. It's like Mr. King Pile here running behind, I believe that is Biker.
I know we're a little further behind than when we maybe would have brought this up, but do you have a pick, somebody that you think really has a chance to win it tonight here?
I gotta go with Wide Open. He showed the strength last night. I mean, he swept both stages plus won the race. I kind of got to go with him. I mean, Bob Drew would be a pretty good pick. That would not be a bad pick. I mean, there's about 4 or 5 guys who I could pick to win these races. And I would say maybe even somebody like a Beast or a Death who maybe might be able to sneak one out with a pit strategy, you know, an early pit, a late pit.
I'd really like to see Twoon get himself a win here. I know he's been strong all week in practice, you know, running at this track. So I think that he's got a chance here, you know. Maybe he figures out a couple of adjustments, and then who knows what that pit strategy is going to do with them staying out, you know, 7-8 laps longer than everyone else.
So I would love to pick Toon because every time I've picked Toon to win a race, something happens to him in stage 3. So I'm gonna try to save him this week and not pick him.
Well, hopefully I don't put any bad vibes out there in the world on him then.
As I'm looking at this right now, we have our leader is Lando.
Okay, so Lando is still staying out on those tires.
I believe he missed pit road because he is pitting right now.
Okay.
So I'm thinking he missed pit road.
Ooh, curious to see how that ends up affecting him in this race.
So I noticed he was running second, but then when those top 3 came to pit, he was kind of a little far back as Titanic had actually passed him to get into the pit road right behind Twoon. So
we just had Titanic make contact with the wall, and it looks like 99. Who is that, Sniper or Pile?
Yep, that is Sniper.
That is Sniper. Looks like he's going to stick his nose down there, maybe try to make a pass.
Those two took it 3 wide on Killer.
Right there.
Killer Sean,
three
another
gentlemen being quiet so far.
Killer Sean, another guy who's been pretty consistent in the Cup Series, or the Truck Series, doesn't have a win, but has put together some decent finishes. He has also been nominated as a Season 3 Cup captain. So look forward to seeing him in Cup as a captain. But right now he's focused on that Truck Series and trying to put together a decent win and just get through to the round of 12. Can you look up on the page and see who's actually out of the round of 12 right now?
All right. I'll go ahead and look that up as we speak.
Yeah, we'll get an idea so we can put a tracker on those guys of seeing where they're running and how they're looking. We got Collins right here running by himself. Pick up on Lando right here. I think he blew a tire going into pit road because he had a really long pit stop.
You know, that might have happened, you know, because he did stay out pretty long compared to everyone else there.
We got Titanic and Sniper battling here, and they got, looks like to be Mr. Twoon right up in front of them.
Let's see.
We got Woody and King Pile running around back here with Biker and Panda right in front of them. And here's Mr. Twoon right here. You can't tell who that. I believe that's Travis right in front of him.
So right now, who we have in the top 10 would be Death, Wide Open, Bob Drew, Travis, Twoon, Scoop, Pile, Sniper, Lando, Titanic, Killer Sean, and Woody are the ones that are right now locked into the round of 12. But we got Panda looking like he's only 8 points back, as well as Biker. So Panda and Biker are the ones that need to make a move here tonight on some of these guys.
Yeah, I expect to see those guys do something later in the race. I know Biker's pretty good at these sliders, and I know he could probably make an adjustment here late in the race, maybe make a few passes. He did that last night of the Cup race. Decided not to pit or just didn't take tires or something like that, and was able to move up a couple positions and then take advantage of a mishap on a restart. But that's what you want to look for here. These guys right here, they're looking for mishaps to something they can just get by and just hope to God they can get enough positions out of it.
Now, if this truly is a 30-lap stage, that's gonna, even though he had that issue on pit road, somebody like Lando and Twoon and Titanic, who stayed out, they made that a one pit, whereas I think Death and Beastats and some of those other guys might have to make another pit stop.
No, I think they're going to be all right. I mean, if you're getting 20 laps of fuel, I think they pitted on lap 13. So that puts them, that should be about 2 to 3 laps to the good. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why they pitted as early as they did. As right now, we have Bob Drew is leading in stage 1 with, I believe, 2 to go in the stage.
All right, we got a pretty good race back here between Death, Scoop, and Beast Stats.
Yep, I just clicked on the Beast and I saw that. So Death looks to be running the low line. Death is running the high line. Beast and Scoop tend to use that little arch effect where they run the middle and then exit low as Death gets into the wall coming out of 2.
Yeah, they really use that draft, that little tandem right there to power by him. Hitting the wall didn't help him at all there in any way, but I think they would have made that pass there on him regardless.
And those 3 right there are chasing down Bob and Wide Open, who I believe are running 1-2 right now. So
yeah, I think Wide Open might be closing the gap on Bob Drew. Oh,
and that
actually,
is the end of the stage. So end of the stage right now, we got looks to be Bob Drew takes the stage, followed by Wide Open, Scoop. I believe that's Death and Beast, with Mr. Twoon finishing
Top
6th.
5.
So now these guys are definitely going to make some changes, and this is where you can really make those changes.
Way back there in the backstretch, way off the pace. Wondering if he had some issue there that we missed.
That's possible. But now these guys, there's a lot difference of making these pit adjustments on a green flag stop versus on a caution. You've got a lot of time on a caution to make those changes, and really think.
Curious to see what Twoon and those others who made a late pit there, what they do. Did they maybe go 2 tires, try to stay out in front of these guys, or do you think 4 tires is just king here?
I think 4 tires is going to be king, because even if you just take rights, your left front takes a real good beating on this track.
Yeah.
So as we start to restart here in stage 2, we got Bob, Wide Open, Scoop, and Beast in the top 4, followed by Death, Travis, Sniper, and I believe that is Twoon on the outside.
Bob Drew got himself a really good launch on that restart, was able to be out there in front of Wide Open, who's now looking towards the inside. And then while he's doing that, Scoop and B-Stats are going to try to hook up and go towards the high line.
And Twoon is up against the wall, bounces into the wall, almost gets into Biker, but
he managed to save it, though. That was a good save on his part.
Yeah,
Those guys working together right there, making sure no caution came out.
Yeah, it's hard on this track, man, because when you bounce off the wall, I mean, the car naturally just bounces back onto the track, and
yeah,
that can bring out some big issues, definitely later in the stage, as these guys, you can see, they're just all fanning out. Everyone seems to be holding a good line, though. Nobody's being overly aggressive, pushing the issue too much.
It's like Wide Open maybe going to the lead here. Yes, he was okay. We got a crossover here by Bob Drew, though, saying, I don't like that. I'm going to try to get it back real quick.
Yeah, these trucks, I mean, we saw it like about 6 laps into stage 1. That's when these trucks really started to come alive and start to handle a little bit better than on these restarts. So we'll see how they're going to do here, late in the run, as Travis goes really low on the exit of 2. I'm not sure if that was looseness but Sniper's going to make the move on the outside of him, and he's going to bring Twoon with him on the outside of Travis. So we got a nice little 2-truck tandem here, just running right up against the wall in the Kyle Larson video game line.
We got Beast Stats falling back, our pulse fitter, and I'm 1, 2, 3. I think I got him back there in 7th place, maybe 8th.
Yeah, I know Beast was saying he doesn't really want to push the issue too much with these playoff guys,
right?
Considering he's not a playoff driver, and if he thinks he's going to maybe cause an issue being up there running, 3 wide when he's not really fighting for anything, he said he would back out. So, I mean, that's good on him.
That's going back to pass Sniper right there, get that position back from him.
Yep, and
might even
try to make the
go
move
for
on
a
Death.
pass on Death too.
Again, we'll take the leader from the back view from the leader of Wide Open here. As you can see, there's 2 distinct packs, and then there's one car riding by himself in between, and then there's one car all the way in the back. So there's definitely 2 distinct packs here. But
I'll scroll through and let you know who's riding where on their own there. It looks like the person in the back right now on their own is Killer Sean John, another playoff driver right there.
Bob Drew into the wall, gets into Scoop, or gets into Travis, or Scoop, can't tell who that was, but nobody got hurt, and that just allowed Wide Open to put a bigger gap on, looks to be Death and, Scoop. Scoop here in second and third, but Bob Drew got into the wall hard, bounced back, got into death a little bit, but you can put Bob Drew back there now in 7th.
So I think that's Panda leading the second group of trucks.
Go Panda.
And then behind them is going to be way out there in the back is Killer Sean, which I have to imagine he had an issue with the wall or something there to be running way back there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard once you bounce into the wall. Oh, Killer Sean goes really low on the exit at 4.
Yeah, he might be fighting a way loose truck here. Maybe over-adjusted a bit more than he should have on that pit stop under yellow.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch this battle right here with, I mean, there's a 6-7 car battle. You can put a blanket over.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
got Beast leading it with Titanic, Travis, Twoon, Bob Drew, Sniper, Lando.
Travis and Lando in there, too?
Yep. As they're going to go 3 wide right here. 3 wide. Ooh, Bob into the wall.
3 wide. Oh, Bob Drew falling back here. Wonder if he might have gotten a little bit of side damage there after that first hit. Maybe slowing his truck up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that first hit on the wall. Oh, Panda's going to come up the track. Gets into pile.
Ooh. That looked like a heavy hit there for Pyle, and he
oh, we got trucks in the grass
too.
We have trucks in the grass. I don't think there's going to be a caution out though.
So we found out last night in the cups here, it really took a massive wad of cars to get a caution brought out. It seemed like two trucks here spinning just didn't do it last night in the cup.
Yeah, there were a lot of weird cautions last night though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the top 15 were running just fine, but 2 cars in the back, and then all of a sudden it was just caution. Oh, his Twoon bounces back. Oh, this is going to be a caution right here.
Oh, Bob Drew, big wreck, big wreck.
Yep, this is going to be a caution right there.
Big wreck. Killer Sean involved.
And that will bring out the caution.
That was Lando and Bob Drew that looked like they actually got the worst of that one right there.
Yeah, that was caused by Twoon. Looks like he got loose and tried to correct it and bounced off the wall. So we are going to stack them up again with our first caution of the day.
Look at the damage on the front end of Lando's truck there.
Yeah, it's hurting.
And he already had that issue earlier too, where he might have missed pit road, maybe blew a tire, not sure.
I mean, he was lucky to do it as late as he did in the stage, though. So even if he lost a lap, he was able to get his lap back.
Yeah. Really curious to see what's going to happen here now that we have a pit stop.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what this is going to do for the fuel mileage, which will be interesting.
Ooh, Woody making a move on pit road there all the way up to 2nd place. Maybe he was the first in the race to try out the 2 tires.
Yep, we will give it a shot and see what's going on. As he looks like he's... thought maybe he was going to keep it high and stay out of the way, but I can't tell if he's going to keep it high and stay out of the way.
All right, maybe an accidental no pit there.
It happens. I know it happened to you last night.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, the game doesn't register it, and sometimes, it's just gets talking to your team on the chat there, and you just completely, forget to press it.
Yep, so we got wide open and Death battling him. Death is going to get a heck of a run coming out of 2. Coming out of 4.
Flying, that was a massive run right there.
As they're going to go 3 wide with Beast wide open. Looks like Travis back there 3 wide. All right, and now we're going to go 3 wide with, I believe that's Titanic.
Titanic throwing himself in this mix now. He's been quiet all day.
Hey, Titanic had a good run last night. I think this is one of Titanic's best tracks. Had a really good run in the Cup Series last night.
Killer Sean still struggling to keep that truck up on the track.
Yeah, and it's not just as easy as making a wedge adjustment. That's definitely a tire pressure adjustment. Maybe taking some tape on, putting some tape on, or taking some tape off to get that downforce on that truck. But you want to take the pressure off that right rear as much as possible, especially on the exit of these turns, because maybe even drop it down a pound.
Yeah, if you're going down on the right rear, you definitely got to go down on that left front too. Then so the truck's balanced out, corner to corner. And maybe that's the issue, is he just jacked it way down on that right rear, and that left front's still hooking really well.
We got Travis making a move on Scoop here. Looks to be they might almost be 3 wide coming out of 4, and they almost were. Beast backed it off a little bit, but Travis now is on the
smart
inside
decision
line.
There, backing off of these playoff guys. That's Mr. Twoon and Travis side by side right there in the 3rd and 4th position.
And right now, Travis, Scoop, and Beast, they're kind of trapped because they got nowhere to go. They're just on Death's bumper and just nowhere to go.
Trying to make a move on the inside there now.
Scoop wants to pop poke out and try to make that pass on Death, but he can't do it because the Travis's truck is there. So he's going to try to do it now. He's going to go three wide coming out of four.
Where do you go? Where does Twoon take it now?
I believe Twoon should keep it high and just hope for the best.
He does.
As they're going to stay 3 wide.
And we got Biker up here now too. Biker up here in the top 10 now.
Told you, man, Biker needs a good points night. I mean,
Biker's going to be up here in 3rd spot now. If he can make this pass here on B stats. Now, you got to think, Biker can get himself a 3rd place finish here. He might sneak himself into the next round.
Yeah, it just depends on how many points are in front of him, or who's in front of him, and how many points they have.
12th place right now is only 8 points ahead of 13th and 14th.
And who's in 12th right now?
Let me double check that. I want to say it was Killer Sean, but I don't want to speak too soon. Let me go back to the page here.
As you can definitely see, the aggression is picking up on these guys as they're coming through about halfway through stage 2, almost to the end of stage 2. The aggression is definitely picking up with these guys.
Actually, it is Woody in 12th place right now. And, well, Killer Sean's only 4 points ahead of Woody, so from 11th place back to 14th, there's only a 10-point difference in points.
As we got Biker here, got under attack by Wide Open, and Titanic. Ooh, is Titanic. Oh, we got a big one. We got a big one. It's going to bring out the caution, I believe, on that one.
Yeah, we got Pile way down in here on the inside, got caught up in another one. Titanic involved in that one.
It looked like Titanic and Wide Open made a little bit of contact, and it kind of shot Titanic's truck up into the wall. But now you can see, now Biker's got that track position that he wants. He's up there in the top 5, looks to be maybe top 6. He's got track position. Now he has a chance to get some fresh tires, and now take a shot.
If that did end out the second stage there, that would be Scoop as our stage 2 winner.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that ended stage 2. I'll have to look at Lando's stream in a second here, but yeah, these guys, I mean, you could definitely see the aggression is picking up with these guys, and they're trying to make the passes. They're trying to do them early, and as they're trying to take the runs as they get them.
Travis's pit crew right there helped him out a lot. It's going to have him starting on the bottom here on the front row.
All right, so let's get over to Travis here. Here we go. We'll do an aerial view between Travis and Scoop and see the kind of different lines they run.
Puts Biker there in 3rd place.
Now the nice thing with the nice thing for Travis is Biker's his cup teammate, so he knows that Biker's not really going to force an issue too much. He hopes not. At least as Scoop's going to try to make the move on the inside.
Ooh, 3 wide,
three wide behind the leaders here.
All right, Biker, keep that steady in the middle, and it looks like they're holding it pretty well right there.
Yep, Travis is keeping that high line going. Oh, there's
a little bit of contact.
Looks to be almost 4 wide.
Yeah, big wide right there. Oh, and we got Wide Open pushing that 3 wide issue towards the front.
Biker gets into Beast a little bit.
Up into the wall.
Oh, that's not Biker. I'm sorry, that's Death.
Yeah, that was Wide Open getting pushing Death all the way through that turn there.
That's going to put Travis up in the lead right now with Death on his inside. So Travis looking for his 3rd win of the season. Started off the season strong, won 2 of the first 3 races, and then kind of hasn't been able to find
during all that mess too. And now we see Pile, first time really saying his name up here towards the front of the pack. It's on the inside of Beat Stats right now, which looks like a battle for 7th.
We got we got Panda back here with looks to be the 8 of Bob Drew, Biker. So look at Panda. Panda's up here in the top
inside.
6.
He made heavy contact on that inside wall, and that probably won't bring out a caution, and that's gonna put B Stats probably back here running for last at the end of this stage.
So we got Lando running up here in P2, and Lando, another one of those guys, had a good run last night. Found himself towards the front of the pack quite a few times. I believe that's
Pile up there in 4th. Oh, Death got into the back end of Twoon there. He saved it though.
Yeah, this is the thing where Twoon's got to have to be patient. You know, there's nowhere to go. You don't really want to force the issue because you could end up paying for it. So it's be patient, take your time, you know, work your way through one truck at a time. As he gets right into the back,
just driving away from these guys right now.
Yeah, well, and Wide Open doesn't have anybody to contend with. He's not fighting along. He's not fighting anybody. As Twoon's going to try to drop down low, take the run with
Killer Sean a push.
Yep, try to get that draft to get by Travis here, as he's going to go underneath Travis.
We got
that
Pyle
high side,
and Bob
just
Drew side by
that
side
run
behind them.
Ooh, good run off of exit of 4. As he's going to be able to make the pass on Travis and clear him. Now he's going to go after Killer Sean, as they are catching somebody up in front of them really quickly. But Travis back on the inside.
Did we have a caution, or was that the end of the stage? I think that was probably going to be the end of the stage.
That was probably the end of the stage. So 2 cautions in that race. We got Jennifer Peters in here, another Travis fanatic. We're going to call the Travis Fanatics.
Yeah, got ourselves Mr. Twoon a new nickname here after practice earlier this week, calling him Two-Tire Twoon.
So, looks to be that stage 3 is going to be 72 laps. So that's
a long
easily...
That's 3 pits, yeah.
That's 3 pits, possibly 4 if it goes green.
Yeah, hoping it does go green, because I think for us in the Cup last night, that final stage was a 1-pitter.
Yeah. We'll get up to the leaders here, as we got Wide Open and Travis up front, but I believe Travis did not pit. There's that thing that keeps hurting Travis, as Wide Open is going to try to take that bottom, take the opening, but
3 wide,
Lando's
Killer
going to make the move.
Okay. We've seen it just 2 races in a, 2 nights in a row, that car or truck in this case, that's out there in front, that clean air just does wonders for your vehicle.
It does. But that's also twice this race we've seen, we're going to have some issues right here, I believe.
That was a big wad up there. Puts Mr. Twoon up there to the 2nd position now, with Lando running 3rd behind him.
Yeah, but no caution, so they are going to stay green. But that's twice this race now. We've seen somebody have to back off of the front row for not pitting, not hitting the button or not doing something. But as we got Twoon Wide Open here running up front,
Twoon's actually kind of gained a little bit of time on him with the draft.
Yeah, Twoon right now, what he wants to do is he wants to try to stay in that draft as long as he can. You don't want to let Wide Open get up there, because if you lose the draft, then the draft is going to catch you with those cars behind you, and then you're going to find yourself battling with 4 or 5 trucks and watching the leader just pull away.
Death right here, looking like he's going to set up a move on the Lando, perhaps. I'm going to take the view from Pyle here, because I'm watching Pyle, and I got a good look at the guy in 1st and 2nd, as well as about 3rd through 8th.
Yeah, I'm on Death's camera right now, as he's Death has been one of those guys who's been staying on the high side.
Pyle, and then now Scoop is up there.
Death is one of those guys who's been staying on the high side. He hasn't really run to the bottom that much.
Yeah, he's kind of like set in his ways right now. He ran the bottom the first 2 laps or so, on the very beginning of the race, but yeah, he's been pretty much high side, middle side, ever since.
Ooh, Pyle into
big
Death.
Contact there. That was Death and Pyle.
Oh, Bob Drew
around. Might be a caution here. We'll see.
Yeah.
No caution yet. They're still running it. And a caution now?
Nope.
No, it looks like they're still running it.
Biker up here trying to make the move on Death. I'm not sure what happened. It looked like Pyle got into Death a little bit, and then it bottlenecked the rest of the field and made Bob spin out.
Maybe they were too close coming off the exit there of 3 and 4 that last lap, and one of them just got a little loose, corrected it, and made everyone else have to check up.
Yeah, we're gonna go back up here to the lead group though, as Twoon and Wide Open have separated themselves from looks to be Killer Sean.
Lando and Scoop.
Oh, Lando, Scoop.
And then I believe that's Sniper now up here in 5th, with Biker behind him in 6th, and then Death in 7th.
But these two have definitely put a gap on the rest of the field.
Yeah, these guys here in third, fourth, fifth, since this is a long run and it looks like it's going to stay green now that they're kind of spreading out, they might want to work together a little bit, just like we see these leaders doing. Otherwise, by the end of this, first run for fuel, we could see those first two guys out there maybe a second and a half ahead of them.
Yeah, I think that's more, be honest, I think that's more Twoon just not trying to lose Wide Open. Not necessarily working with him, but more along the lines of don't get away from me.
Right.
As I'm seeing Biker up here in 6th with Pyle right behind him in 7th.
And Death had to go way low, lost several positions there. He's fallen back to, can't really tell, maybe 13th.
Well, Pyle is in 8th. So, and I see Death back there. That's Beast, never mind.
Pyle's back there, Death is back there behind Collins right now.
Maybe tried to run that high line and got a little too high. I mean, that's that risk reward. I mean, running that high line is good, but I mean, if you just touch that wall one time, and you're gonna fall back real quick.
See, Scoop here on the bottom of Landa, not able to make. Scoop
Scoop
around on the
spinning.
inside, heavy damage. Heavy damage. Once again, we're seeing Homestead not wanting to throw that caution there.
We got Bob Drew back here, looking at Travis. I mean, Travis was one of the guys who missed his pit. Bob Drew was caught up in that wreck that didn't bring out the caution.
That moves Biker up to the 4th position, which is exactly where he wants to be right now. As we got Scoop spinning again right now in the back, possibly heavy damage right there. Truck's just not working well.
As we got Twoon here. Twoon has actually stayed right on Wide Open's bumper. Hasn't really let him get away. So this is probably the first time where Wide Open really can't just let off early. He can't let off early, try to save some gas in these turns. He's actually got to go.
Yeah. Twoon is making him earn every bit of that lead right now. And we know Wide Open's that kind of guy where he loves to save his fuel and kind of run the race his own way. And Mr. Twoon, like you said, not letting him have any part of that.
No, and this is actually helping Twoon out because now he's getting the draft effect. So maybe he's not using as much fuel.
Absolutely. Plus, if this thing continues staying green, I can't see those two doing anything other than working together on a pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, being that they're all in communication at once, he's going to have to let Twoon know that he is pitting. That way he doesn't get rear-ended going into pit road.
I can't recall last night in the Cup Series even having one green flag pit stop. Can you?
No, we had some long green flag runs, but right as green flag stops were probably about to start. There was an incident somewhere on the track. I remember I got down to about 4 laps of fuel to go in stage 1.
Yeah, I think that's about the closest we got.
But Biker up there in
really
3rd.
Strong car there last night too at Homestead, so it was good to see you have that finishing position that you had. Would you pull away 4th place, right?
Yep.
There was that big crash at the end, and you maneuvered your car excellently through there, and I think you went from 12th to 4th in just 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, I think it was in 9th when that accident occurred, and was able to get up to 4th.
Just got a message informed that Sniper has lagged out of the race.
Oh no, so that's not a Sniper. I don't believe is locked in the trucks. I know he's locked in Cup.
I don't believe he's locked in, but I do want to say he's in the top 5, so I want to say he's still pretty safe. I'll go double check once again in the group.
Yeah, and if he got his pictures, of his stages, he'll still get credit for those. So I mean, he should be right.
In the trucks. Sniper's actually in 8th, but he is about 29 points ahead of 13th. So I still imagine he'll be okay going into the next round.
Well, 29 points ahead, but I mean, you got Biker right now who's on the outside looking in, but Biker's having a solid day right now running 3rd.
Oh, yeah. This is one of the the best races I've seen patience-wise out of Biker. He's just running it like exactly where he needs to run it.
And we're going to go through and just cycle through some guys and see where they're running. We got Panda here. Can't really tell where he's running. He's not running in the back. He's got, I believe, it's Titanic and Woody in front of him. Panda, another one of those guys who needs another good race. Sniper, unfortunately, lagged out. We got
Yeah,
Beast
Panda and
running
Biker
behind
are tied in points right now.
As we got Beast here running behind Biker.
Got a lot of guys now on this, now that these green flags have cycled out. There's a lot of just solo trucks running right now. The only thing I can confidently say is that Twoon and Wide Open are still number 1 and 2. And then Biker number 3 with Beast Stats in 4th. After that, I'm not entirely sure.
We got Pile in 5th, right behind Beast. Scoop
All right.
here. I know Scoop is a lap down, but he is in between Biker and the leaders. So that is not for position. We got Biker here, like I said, having a good day in 3rd place. I'm pretty sure Beast isn't going to force the issue too much, being that he's not a playoff driver and he knows Biker needs the good finish, so he's probably just going to maybe follow behind him and just line behind him.
I think we're seeing a lot of maturity out of the young guy. Just joined this series, 4 races ago, and even though he's had a highly competitive truck, he's not really ever forced the issue once against these playoff racers, which you love to see.
Yeah, I know he's just ready to get into Season 3 and run that draft showdown. Ooh, is he going to get into? He's going to get into Biker just a little bit here. Let him know he's there.
Gonna take the position, perhaps?
Yeah.
We'll see, though. That outside run, though, we'll see. On worn tires, Biker may have a little advantage here.
Ooh.
Yep, Biker gets a position back.
Yeah, it looked like Beast got a little loose coming off of 2 and had to let off of it before he lost it.
Yeah, that bottom's hard to be aggressive on when you're running with a car outside of you here late on tires.
Oh, it's very hard.
I think that's going to be Pile in 5th. And then I want to say it's either Bob Drew or Orlando in 6th. Could be Titanic as well. Tough to tell.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like we've brought up many times in these broadcasts, they don't do us any favors when it comes to trying to figure out the running order.
And it's a shame because we had it when the game first came out, and then for some reason they decided to take it away. And not really sure what the decision-making on that was.
I believe it was because they couldn't get it to work.
Oh, it wasn't working properly?
No, all it would do, the ticking order was literally just your qualifying order. It would never change positions.
Oh, gotcha. That would have been something really cool to see them work on and get right.
Yeah, so it looks like we're coming up to about 50 laps to go in this final stage. With it being stretched out as it is, I mean, I don't see a caution coming into play. Don't quote me. But as stretched out as it is, I mean, the only 2 people that are really right on top of each other is Twoon and Wide Open. You got that 3-car battle with Biker, but they're all in pits right now. Biker's in the pits. Beast is going to beat him out of the pits.
So one thing I've noticed, and it's kind of crazy, borderline unfathomable to me, is I'm not really seeing Scoop gain much time on these guys, and I think he's got about 8, 9, 10 lap fresher tires.
Well, he's also running by himself versus them in the draft. So, I mean, you got a 2-car draft versus running by yourself. You're gonna be a tad bit faster, but because they're not really battling with each other. They're literally just lined up nose to tail.
With this staying green, it could be a lot of trouble as Bob Drew just goes a lap down now. With how far they were able to get out ahead of everyone else, they might have half the field a lap down after we rotate through these green flag pit stops.
Yeah, and I can only imagine these guys are probably going to be coming in here in the next couple laps. I know we're probably getting up to right around
laps.
Probably getting right around to where the fuel windows needs to be. But, they're probably going to stretch it. Twoon's been known to stretch his fuel as long as he can. He'll run it empty if he has to.
I don't see Twoon coming down.
But Wide Open's going to pit.
A second sooner than Wide Open
So Wide
does.
Open is
So Twoon's going to pit too?
But White is taking
Just
that
saw
entry
him.
off of 3 and 4 really high. He's going to have to get it slowed down and get it down there. As he slows down. Oh, Twoon almost rear-ended him.
I think Twoon trying to do everything he could to gain a little bit of time on pit road, trying to be bumper to bumper right there coming out.
We got Pyle on pit road right now, as Scoop is going to be able to get one of his laps back.
So we see Pyle out here staying on the same pit strategy as these leaders. Smart decision since it stayed green.
Yeah, but I know Biker and Beast pitted a lap earlier, so they're taking the
We
short
saw
pit
that
strategy.
work out for Death at the start of the last stage, but he's kind of fallen off a bit here with damage. So who do we have as our leader right now, according to the stream?
Yeah, right now our leader is still Wide Open. He had a big enough gap. I think Biker may be able to strategize it to where he might be able to get there and pass him, but I'm not 100% sure as Biker's coming around the... Oh, we got a
is
big
that
lag.
Collins?
That's a big lag from Collins there.
Yeah. Actually, I believe B-Stats positioned himself better than Biker.
Collins is spinning on the corner. Oh, he's able to keep the truck down. So
Good
Collins
save
is
there from
spinning,
Collins,
yeah.
not collecting other people.
So Wide Open and Twoon are out of the pits, and Wide Open was actually able to put a gap on Twoon.
Ooh, Twoon did not want to see that happen.
Yeah, it's about a half a second gap, maybe a second. But yeah, Twoon did not want to see that. Now all he has to do right now is hope that Wide Open struggles to get around some lap vehicles once he catches up to him, because Wide Open does have a lap truck in front of him, and
Titanic and Scoop above, in front of him. We'll see though. I mean, to even have the ability to stay on Wide Open like that entire time shows how strong of a vehicle Twoon is running out there right now. So we'll see if he might not be fast enough to reel him in, but then he just stalls when he gets to the bumper. And on these more technical 1.5-mile tracks, that's pretty common.
Well, I'm also thinking now that Twoon saw what happens when he pits with Wide Open, maybe Twoon will take that chance to possibly short pit on him towards the end of the race.
Yeah. We might see him come in a lap or two earlier, just try to run a couple of lightning bolt laps and just try to gap him that way.
As we got a
For the
couple other
most
people
part, last
exiting the pit
night,
road.
I know that we could pretty much run our same lap time for about 3 or 4 laps before it really started to fall off.
Mm-hmm. We got Beast here, was able to get out ahead of Biker and actually put a pretty good gap on Biker now.
Yeah, I think he's 3rd, Biker 4th, and Pyle 5th if I were a betting man.
And we got Death here. Death got caught up in that incident earlier. We had a couple incidents today where the caution just didn't fly when you thought it was going to.
Yeah, almost any other track we've had all season. Sometimes even one vehicle, even on Relax, was able to bring out a caution. And we've seen some weird ones here at Homestead where it's almost taken 3, 4, sometimes even 5 vehicles to get a caution to come out.
Yep, so we've got 44. I looked at it. We're about 44 laps to go. With these guys getting that's still going to be,
One
probably
pit stop,
2,
right?
maybe 2, depending on how many laps they've already run. I would say 1. You could stretch it out to maybe 1.
Wide Open's going to be the man to try that if anyone is.
If he's going to try that, he might need to let Twoon get by him. But right now, what it's looking like is Wide Open is just going to sit behind Scoop, use that draft, try to save himself a couple laps. Because that'll put Titanic
that's
between
kinda
him and
helping
Twoon.
Twoon. That's kind of helping Twoon catch Titanic, though. And Scoop, too. Scoop's not going to just let Wide Open go around him here.
As he just let him go around him.
Oh, wow. Right as I say it, okay. Scoop's usually a little more aggressive than that about staying on these leads. Yep, yeah, as he tries to dive bomb him here.
Hit him with the crossover. I mean, Scoop's pretty good with the crossovers. I mean, and being able to hold his car low. I mean, there's some times where it happens, but I mean, as a guy who runs with him for the last 2 seasons, I don't get nervous when he dives low beneath me because I know he's going to.
Oh yeah,
do
it's
his
always
best to hold
controlled.
it.
It's well maintained. It's never a spur of the moment, like hope it works out kind of thing with him. He hits these tracks premeditated. He knows what he wants to do, and he's one of the better racers in our league at it.
Yeah, plus he knows what his cars and trucks can and can't do. As we got a nice little. The only battle I'm really seeing right now is we got a Biker and Pile side by side for 5th. Pile's gonna dive back in and just follow behind him.
I would have to say a top 5 here today puts Biker through to the round of 12, only being 8 points out of it right now.
Yeah, it would depend on where Killer and Sean are going to end up running at the end of the race. But these guys right now are putting on all these guys right now are putting on a great race. I mean, 2 cautions, and they were both in stage 2. I mean, these green flag stops are really stretching this field out, and it's making it kind of difficult to find the battles. There's not really many to find.
We got Twoon coming up on Titanic. That's not for position, so Titanic probably won't force that issue too hard once he does get there.
I'm seeing Death and Travis right now here battling.
We got Sniper or Biker and Pile side by side again.
We got Travis right here battling with Death. I'm not sure what for position that is. I know Travis ran into an issue where he forgot to pit, and Death got caught up in an issue where a caution didn't fly. So these guys I know they're running probably around mid-pack, but Travis had a strong truck, so I think he would be hoping for a caution maybe to come out and give him a shot on a restart to be able to make up some of those positions that he lost.
I think almost everybody except for Wide Open out here is hoping for a caution.
Yeah, that's true. That's what happens when you get in these races. I mean, sometimes these races are just long, drawn-out, green flag runs, and honestly, if you ask most of these guys in this league, that's what they want. They would prefer these long green flag runs versus, a caution every 10 laps, every 10, 15 laps.
Right, absolutely. Makes it too hard to know what to even do to your car. Like, last night, what would you have done to your car if we actually had to do a couple of green flag pit, cycles? With how many cautions we had, I would have just been, throwing it in the wind, like hoping.
I tightened it up a few times, went up on the wedge a little bit, and then went down on the wedge a little bit. But, I mean, these guys right here, I mean, they're testing their tires. I mean, they have to make all these adjustments. I mean, that's what they practice for, and I know they practice. I know Twoon, I'm pretty sure Travis does as well. They write their adjustments down that they do for practice. That way they know what to put in the trucks for race day. As we got Travis coming here underneath Woody. Going to try to make that pass on Woody here.
Ooh, we got a truck around.
Ooh, we got Panda into the wall.
Was that Panda?
That was Panda.
I don't know if Lando was involved. I just caught that at the very end there. Imagine Panda comes down this lap.
He was. I'm watching Lando stream right here. He got into him, but it didn't really mess Lando up at all.
Okay.
And we got Killer Sean here, still getting loose off of 4. He's been trying to tighten that thing up all night. We got Collins here running.
Wide Open, just driving away with it here. I'd have to say he's 2.5 seconds ahead of a Twoon here. Almost the entire first and second turn.
Yeah, it's
Pyle was able to get around Biker. I think Bob Drew is running on his own behind Biker. I want to say he's probably in 6th place.
I believe Bob may be a lap down because remember he was involved in that spin out.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it did look like maybe Wide Open did get in there. And it is so hard to tell without any kind of centering here.
Yeah, so we got Twoon was able to get by Titanic, and now he's going to try to get up there to work with to get by Scoop. But I know Scoop does have the older tires, I believe. So eventually Scoop's going to come in the pit, and that's going to put Twoon back up into 2nd place, but not as close to the leader as he was.
Scoop is still a lap down, possibly 2 laps down now.
We come in here to Woody.
Mr. Twoon is in 2nd still.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, that'll put him back just in second, like running order, like 1-2,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
not with a
gotcha.
lap car in between them, but not as close as he was last stage, and that's probably what he wants to. That's probably what hurts
I
the most.
wonder what happened on pit road there that made them distance out so far, considering they were almost nose to tail entering.
It could be just the amount of speed you can carry going on that apron. I mean, that apron here to get on back on track is very, very skinny. It's very hard to carry a lot of speed on that.
Yeah, very slick too. Is
I
that
mean, if you hit the
Pyle?
gas,
And
if
did
you hit
Pyle
the
just get
grass.
around B stats for position?
Let's see here. We got Panda here. A lot of nose damage on Panda's truck. That thing is showing how tough it is with that built Ford tough truck.
I think Pyle might have found something here. I think he just drove himself around B stats for.
Ooh,
Oh,
as
as
Pyle
I
gets
say
into the
that, he
wall.
gets the wall a little bit,
Whoa.
but
Uh-oh.
I think that is for third or fourth position right there.
So as we come to, we have 30 laps to go. So, yeah, I would say probably one more pit stop.
Pyle able to. Did B stats go down pit road, or
No, he just got a little loose coming off of 4.
he just let Pyle go?
Yeah, I'm trying to find any kind of
And
battle.
Pyle
I mean,
into the wall again. He might have an issue with that truck.
we got Twoon, who's actually caught the bumper of Scoop here.
Alright, I see that on my screen now. Man, I'm really happy to see Twoon get himself a good run out here today.
And what he needs right now is he needs to either work with Scoop or get by him ASAP.
I would have to say, that's just a guess unless we see a caution come out and it just stays green to the end. I think Wide Open has really, really positioned himself in a great, spot here.
Yeah, and with the lock-in too, he's going to get his get some playoff points as well to help his standings when the points reset.
I mean, we're talking Twoon having to somehow find a tenth of a second every single lap in speed to even catch up to him.
I mean, he could possibly do it if Wide Open starts slowing his corners or backing his corners off, trying to save a couple laps. He's got the wherewithal to actually let it happen.
Do you have a lap count? How many we have to go?
We have 28 laps to go.
So I imagine we start seeing pit stops here in about 8 to 10 laps.
Yep, and then this is where that short pitting by Twoon could actually help. As I see Beast is going to the pit road now.
Curious as to what happened with Scoop in that issue. We'll have to get him here in the booth after the race because, as you can see, he's still one of the fastest trucks out there, even on these slightly more worn tires.
Yep, he's getting a push from Twoon as well. So I mean, Twoon's going to sit there behind him and just try to use the draft to try to help him get. He's going to use Scoop to help him catch Wide Open right now.
So I believe I just saw a couple trucks coming off a pit road there. I don't think they can make it to the end. That would be 28 laps on a fuel drive. Titanic a little bit loose there, coming down pit road now.
And we got
Now,
Biker
these guys
back here.
would really have to push it to make it 27, 28 laps here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're hoping for a caution. Fingers crossed, trying to play the system.
Yeah. So we got Titanic on pit now. B-Stats just running a clean race back there, not really pushed anything today.
And we'll get another look at Travis here for Jennifer, who's watching. One of the Travis fanatics, as he's got Lando in front of him. And I can't quite tell who's that in front of Lando. I believe that might be Killer Sean.
So Scoop and Mr. Twoon have come down pit road together right now.
Yep, Pyle came in right behind them.
Okay, and actually now I see it, Wide Open came in too. So they all three were. So I think at this point Scoop's just hanging with those guys in case a caution comes out. maybe trying to race his way back onto the, lead lap the hard way around wide open here.
Yeah, I mean, and it's possible to try to do it. You never know when these guys get out of pit road. I mean, they get bunched up just a little bit, and you never know what can happen at that point. We get a nice little rear view of Travis here as he's running. He's got, I can't tell who that's in front of him, but he's been running by himself for the most part.
I think it would have. Is it not Lando? Because I think Lando and Travis have been pretty close all day.
No, Lando's on pit road right now. As Killer Sean comes out of pit road, Bob Drew comes out of pit road. We got Collins Racing and Woody.
Hard to tell.
As Woody's going to almost get into the wall a little bit, going into 1 and 2. They're going to have a side by side.
I think that is Panda ahead of Travis.
Okay.
Just scroll through to figure it out. So that is Panda ahead of Travis, but Panda's had a few issues today, so that's not for position. Whereas I have to say, Travis is probably still in the top 5 right now. He's ran a clean race. He doesn't really have any damage on that truck.
He would have been in the top 5 had he not forgot to pit.
Okay, so it's still top 10 day for him, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming down pit road right now.
I believe it's still a top 10 day as we're coming to about 20 to go. Looks like 21 to go, 22 to go. So these guys are really going to stretch this fuel mileage here as Wide Open has put a half a straightaway gap on them. I mean, they would really need Wide Open to hit the wall or get loose.
Lando, another one of those guys who's ran a pretty clean race all day. What position do you have him scored as watching his stream?
I have Lando in 12th right now.
And 12th, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what happened to bring that out. Was that was that all stemming from that pit road issue we had where he blew that tire, you think?
Possibly. I know he's just came off a pit road, so I know some people have not pit yet. So
okay, yeah, so maybe that's what that is.
He should be able to cycle his way back up into the top 10.
Guy who's been real quiet back there all day is Woody in that 15 truck.
Looks to be right here that Scoop and Twoon working together have actually allowed them to close the gap a little bit on Wide Open, but that's not saying that Wide Open's not backing his corners off just to make sure he's got enough fuel.
Oh, absolutely. Wide Open is the wizard of the league at saving fuel.
I mean, it's I don't even know how to do it on a manual. Ooh, we got Travis in the beast a little bit here. Travis is going to get up on the apron a little bit, take it a little up the track, but he's able to get by him. No harm, no foul. We got Death here about 2 seconds behind them.
Yeah, just the story of this race right now is 2 or 3 incidents that should have very easily been a caution, just not coming out here at Homestead.
Yeah, and that definitely hurt the chances of a lot of strong vehicles.
Yeah.
Bob, Death, Travis.
So that would put Biker back here in either 3rd or 4th, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And if that is correct, then that is an amazing ride and a great day for him.
These guys are Wide Open, just sitting here running by himself, just counting down the laps. As it looks to be about 18 to go. We got Pyle here. Pyle's got Biker in front of him. Pyle and Biker have been around each other a lot tonight.
Yeah, that's I believe that's for 3rd and 4th. And I want to say Beast Stats is in 5th.
Let's see. Nope, Biker's going to go ahead and pit now. So Biker ran his truck completely empty. Pyle got a little loose coming off of 4 there, was able to hold on to it.
So was that Biker pitting from the lead?
It's possible. Nope, Wide Open still in the lead.
So curious about that pit stop from Biker there, maybe just seeing that he wasn't going to have the fuel to go to the end and just trying to get ahead of this thing.
I think he ran his I think he didn't short pit. I think he just ran it out. Maybe he didn't take enough fuel, or maybe he just thought he was like, oh, maybe I guess I'm not going to make it. But It says we got Scoop. Scoop is coming off a pit road as well. Perhaps these guys did not have enough to make it, and Wide Open is going to try to stretch it.
Yeah, they just ran it's appearing like maybe they all ran just like a short, like 4 or 5 lapper to where they were guaranteed on fuel. And if that's the case, and Wide Open is trying to run it out.
Yep, Twoon has not pitted,
very curious
though,
to see how this works.
Yep, and Twoon has not pitted, so Twoon is going to try to stretch it out as long as he can.
Now, I can't tell, do we have a truck parked there against the wall in the backstretch?
Yes, we do. That is
wall.
Collins.
Okay.
I think he's been told he's lagging, so he's just staying out of the way.
He seems to have it moving now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Collins been having some internet issues, so I mean, he shows up, he runs
without it. He could be a competitive guy.
So we got Twoon here, running in second place. Got a nice big gap up to him and Wide Open, but
I think that's Lando and Travis having themselves a little bit of a run here, racing against each other. Maybe bring that up for all the Travis fans still watching.
Oh, we got Scoop on the inside wall. Yep, we got Travis going after Lando here,
Scoop.
and I'm watching Lando stream.
Scoop
so
is on the inside wall. What's going on there? Did he park it just realizing that he's too far out of the race?
It's possible.
Now he might have been 2 laps down, you know.
Travis is going to make the move on Lando, and that's going to put Travis up into the top 10. So there's that top 10 that Travis was looking for.
Might even be better than that.
As he does have a truck in front of him, about 2.5 seconds up there. I believe that's Pyle, but I can't quite tell.
I'm on board with Titanic trying to see if that's who's ahead of them, but I don't think it is.
As we got Killer Sean and Bob Drew right now, having the leader go by them. And Twoon is falling way too far back. I believe Twoon does not have the fuel to make it.
Yeah.
Jennifer Soda, yeah, buddy, drive fast, take chances. Well, we're waiting on Travis to make some chances.
Twoon out here saving gas. If he's on this same pit strategy is Wide Open, it might just be smarter for him to come down because he should still rotate out in second.
It was Lando's gone ahead and made the pass again on Travis. Travis got into the wall coming out of 4, so put Lando back up into 10th and put Travis back to 11th.
I'm curious to see our running order here. All I know is number 1 and number 2 right now. I think Pyle might be 3rd.
Yep, and we have 10 to go. Or 11 to go, I'm sorry. So these guys are coming down to the nitty-gritty. It's going to be who's got the fuel, who doesn't have the fuel. Can Wide Open save enough? Does Twoon have enough? Is he going to have to come in and take a splash?
Collins back down pit road. Might have some more damage there.
As we got Woody coming off of pit road now. Twoon is still on track. But Wide Open has just sailed away on him. Ooh, as Twoon gets into the wall coming out of 2.
Twoon gets a little bit. I think we might see a pit out of Twoon here in a lap or 2.
I think he's not running full throttle right now. I think he's doing everything he can to save fuel. He is not running very fast.
It's going to be tough to tell. We'll see. I mean, I've been in that situation before, and even backing it down 5-6 seconds a lap. I mean, it takes like 3 or 4 laps to gain a lap.
We got Wide Open here in a bundle of lap down cars with Beast, Bob Drew, and Killer Sean behind them. Because I think this is what Wide Open needs right now. Wide Open's just going to stay behind trucks and try to use those drafting to try to get that extra couple laps that he needs.
Yeah, he's ran a really smart race so far, really clean. as he's got a fast truck and B stats ahead of him, which will even, potentially help out with the gas even more because he can just draft all that more out of him.
He's got to be careful though with these guys who are lapped down and stuff like that, not to push the issue too much and almost I want to say lose it, get a little loose, get a little tight, hit the wall,
It's tough
do
to
something.
tell too. I mean, that issue that could be a race for position between B stats and Bob Drew.
Yep, as
You
Wide
never
Open's
know,
going to
so-
go ahead and make the move on the inside of Beast. So,
Bob Drew's going to follow him.
and I think that allowed Toon to get up there just a little bit. Not much though, and now that he's past those lap cars, as Travis looks to be coming up on
keep sailing.
Travis looks to be coming up on the looks like the 98 of Pile right there, about a quarter
That
of a
might be
straightaway
position
back.
for third or fourth right there.
Well, yeah, maybe. Let me see. Where's
I mean, it's really hard to tell, but I know Pile's on the lead lap, and
that is for the Travis is in 8th, Pile is in 7th.
okay, yeah, so that's a position pass there.
So
If he can get there.
yeah, he's gonna get there. He's got about 7 laps to do it. So
I'm going to go switch over here to Travis, though, see if he can track him down. Looks like he's holding that truck pretty snug there, right on that mid line. Getting some good speed.
we got Travis here trying to catch up to Pile for 7th. We're gonna go back up here and check on Twoon to see if he's closed the gap at all with Wide Open. And he's actually
still
further off.
Yeah, he's still more. I think he's entering 3 when Wide Open is exiting 4.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Twoon's just gonna try to have to run it out at this point.
Yeah. Kind of accepting his fate here and for second place, which, there's far worse things at the end of the day than a second place finish.
Second place is not bad.
That's a podium still.
Oh, so we got a car on the inside on the backstretch. He's able to get back up on the track though, nowhere near Twoon, so nothing that he had to really worry about.
Is that Killer Sean, the 32, I believe? He's the one right ahead of Twoon.
Yep, right behind Beast. So as we come around, we have 3 laps to go. So we got the white flag coming up here in 2 laps. So this is going to be a time to see if Wide Open actually has the fuel to make it. Which I'd be willing to bet he does. Worst case scenario, he runs out.
Yeah, I mean,
turn 3. He's going to have enough momentum carrying him here.
I don't see any way Wide Open would still be running that truck that quickly if he knew he wouldn't make it on gas.
So I believe we are coming to the white flag right now. Let's get up there with our... Ooh.
Twoon, got almost into the wall there.
And I believe that is the end of the race. I can't really tell. Yep, end of the race. So Wide Open, Twoon, Pile, Death, Beast, Killer Sean, Titanic, Travis, Lando, and Biker in the top 10.
Hey, I want to just talk about that right now. Killer Sean was a guy we were watching chase that truck down into the infield every single turn, and he pulled out a top 5. That is impressive right there.
Yeah, he did. So we're going to go ahead and get a Wide Open in here. Sweeps the weekend. I might have to. I'm gonna have to suspend him. He's too fast. So you sent Wide Open an invite to get in here, so we can talk about what it's like to lead all the laps. Yes. Pile on 3rd, Death, Beast, and Killer Sean. That's gonna be it's gonna be very close. So we'll get the second place finish in here as well. So Wide Open didn't do the clean sweep of the race. So I don't think he finished first in one of the stages. So as we wait for these guys to get in here. I know they're taking photos right now and getting all the finishing numbers for the Stagman to get the points out for the truck races. And as we say that, we will be on a 2-week break after tonight for Christmas and New Year's, so you will not see these trucks and cars and trucks back on the track until after the new year.
Here we are, second place finisher, two-tire twin in here.
Oh man, it feels good to finish second.
Secured yourself, into the round of 12 there with that second place finish.
Yes,
what'd you think? You just didn't have enough to get there to Wide Open, or just didn't have the gas to run it as hard as you wanted to?
Well, actually, it seemed like me and Wide Open had the exact same pitch strategy. Like, we were just as good on tires together and just as good as fuel. But it just seemed to be like his pitch strategy must have been a couple seconds, quicker, because every time we get out of pit, he was that much further ahead, and then on his exit, he seemed to be a little bit better. So he had himself a good sweep this weekend, so congrats to Wide Open.
Yeah, and here,
I was glad to follow him.
Speaking of the man who just swept the weekend at Homestead, Wide Open, how does it feel, man?
It feels good. Homestead is a good track for me. I like it a lot. You just got to watch that exit of turn 2. That's the biggest thing, is the exit of turn 2. There's a small little crease in the track there, and if you hit it the wrong way, it also kicks you loose. And I thought I gave it away in stage 2 when I forgot the pit there, but luckily we got a couple cautions and got back in the race.
I'll tell you what, man, you couldn't be a perfectionist and win all the stages. You had to get 59.
Yeah, you know, that first stage, Bob did a 2-tire stop and got in front, and I just couldn't run him down.
Well, you go ahead and, as if you weren't already solidified, you're in there now, and we'll probably have these points out here in the next day or two. But great race. I mean, that was a lot of green flag runs, and you could definitely tell when the green flags pit stop started, it really stretched the whole field out. It made the racing better, but it made it more important to not make mistakes on the track, or you really weren't going to be able to catch up.
Yeah, that's true. You got to be careful, when you're making those green flag pit stops, not to break loose entering the pits.
Yes, I agree.
But turn two is the key to that track. You just got to make sure you don't hit that little crease in the track the wrong way.
Yeah, so great race by everybody, really. I mean, that's one of the better truck races we've had. I mean, we kind of expected the aggression to kick up a little bit in stage 3 like it normally does, but it seemed to stay pretty calm and collected. We saw a lot of the non-playoff guys give plenty of room to the playoff guys. So that's what we like to see. But like I said, we are on a 2-week break, so you guys enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your New Year's.
And
we will be coming back in 2 weeks to Daytona, so that should be interesting.
Now, I do believe, though, I don't know if it was 100% set in stone, Jinx, but weren't we going to do a silly stream somewhere between Christmas and New Year's for those who wanted to run it?
Yeah, I believe there was something set up around Christmas for anybody who wanted to run like some silly runs and stuff like that. But so in 2 weeks for the actual round of 12 start, you'll see the Cup cars at Daytona and you'll see the trucks at Talladega.
Sure.
So that should be another interesting race.
Excellent racing out there tonight, boys. Once again showing that these trucks, man, they are harder to figure out, but they more rewarding, I feel, at the end of the day, being everybody starting out in the same kind of slider, and Wide Open showing he was just one small step ahead of everybody else here this entire weekend at Homestead, and Really good work out there, bud.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
well done, White Open. Congrats, buddy.
yep. As
Thank you,
always,
Drew.
don't forget to like and subscribe to this page. We do the driver interviews after the races every Friday and Saturday, and then starting season 3, we will be every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we'll have all 3 series running. So until then, everybody have a good Christmas, good New Year's, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.